Okay, GM, I make an attack. You have absolutely no chance of hitting him. Why? Seriously? Where do I begin? Okay, you're prone, frightened, blind. I mean, you are fighting him with a large, heavy weapon that is ranged whilst he's within 5 feet, and you're small. Not even to mention the fact your strength is 6, and you're wearing full plate armor that you're not even proficient in. Yeah, but I got my familiar to take the help action. Okay, fine. That's still like a million disadvantage to 1 advantage. Nope, it's just a straight roll. It cancels out all the disadvantage. Wait, what? No, that can't be right. Oh, but it is, GM. Yes, it is. Hello and welcome to Grit and Glory, the brand new TTRPG that is ready to upgrade your gaming experience. I have great news. The Kickstarter for Grit and Glory, for this project to be actually, become a reality, it's live right now. It's from the 24th of September until the 24th of October. So, go back it ASAP. But, you're here now, you might as well give us a little like, comment and subscribe. Just help appease the YouTube algorithm, grow the channel a little bit so we can get more amazing people like you on board. But that's enough with the very shameful plugging. On with the video. So before we actually get into the meat of this video, I want to talk about something that I've seen in a lot of comments on my videos, which is a request for more specific numbers when it comes to the mechanics of this game. And I totally understand why. You want to know the more detailed aspects of the game. The reason before this video that we haven't been using those numbers is because the game is still very much in beta and a lot of the numbers are very subject to change. So I didn't want to come out here and give you concrete numbers that aren't concrete and that when the game actually releases, it might not be accurate because these videos will be up on the channel even when the game is released. And I don't want people coming here and seeing information that conflicts with the rulebook. However, I do totally understand why you guys want to see these numbers, so I will be using them wherever I can in the following videos. And I hope that that makes you guys appreciate the system a little bit more. But anyway, you're not here for this rant. You're here for the video, so I'll get on with it.
Give me what I want!
So the advantage-disadvantage system largely came about because of the insane complexity of 4E, with the +2s here and the +2s there and everywhere, just making combat a massive slog. So in 5E, they just moved away from it completely and made advantage-disadvantage the sole system for the game. And it did its goal. It simplified combat massively. However, I think it went a little too far in that direction. And that's why in Grit and Glory, I've tried to become kind of the middle ground between the two. Not as chaotic as 4E, but not as simple and basic as 5E. And that's what we've aimed to do in this Fortune and Fate system. So let's break down the Fortune and Fate system. First off, what are Fortune and Fate? Well, Fate, firstly, is used for permanent or long-standing buffs or negatives for your character, whereas Fortune is for situational effects. So in D&D, you might have advantage on Arcana checks, just as a permanent buff. And then when you go to make the Arcana check, your friend might try and help you. And what does that do? It gives you advantage, which is now pointless because they don't stack. So it just means your friend never, ever has to help you. It's never beneficial in any way. But in Grit and Glory, that Arcana, that permanent buff, would become a positive fate. It works the same way, as in you get to roll another d20 and take the higher amount, except for the fact that where advantage is capped at 2 dice, we don't do that. We don't have a cap, actually, because fate is far rarer in Grit and Glory than advantage is in D&D.
Whoa!
So how does Fortune work? Is that also another die? Yes, but also no. The way it works is it's not another d20 that you take the higher result. Instead, it's an additional die that you add or subtract to the result. This starts off at a d4, but every stack of fortune that you get increases the size of the dice, d6, d8, and eventually when it hits d12, that is the maximum amount of stacks that you can get. This means that being inherently really good or bad at something doesn't just negate all situational factors. I mean, you could have positive fortune and negative fate, or vice versa. But obviously, the massive stacking up of situational impacts might make it so that even if you're naturally really good at something, that positive fate isn't going to hold up against the massive negative fortune. And the thing is, in D&D, getting disadvantage on something is unbelievably rare. I mean, I have played D&D for years, and the amount of times that a player's actually had to roll with disadvantage, I could probably count on one hand. I mean, rolling neutral, fine, but that's because gaining advantage is so easy and they just stop each other. But in Grit and Glory, gaining that negative fortune is actually going to happen probably a lot more often. Don't worry, you're not going to be flooded with it, but we made the game to be strategic. So actually planning and trying to figure out how to not have negative fortune is part of the strategy. So if you're ready to play a game with actual strategy where one small situational effect doesn't completely negate years of hard-earned practice, then it's time to play Grit and Glory. I hope you enjoyed that video in all of its nerdy glory, but now is time to talk about the Kickstarter. It is really important, I can't stress this enough. As much work as me and the team have put into this game, it simply cannot become a reality without the backing of people like you. So, if you can go and check it out in the description below, that would actually help us with getting these books printed and getting them shipped out to tables like yourself. In the meantime, though, once you've finished all of that and given all of your money to us, you might as well check out some of these two videos here.